Tonight I wanna see the bright lights over me. Show me something magical, something beautiful. Come and take me higher, set my world on fire tonight, tonight. Show me everything I want and more. You take me right around the world. I'm feeling tonight, got me feeling so right.
This week on Top Billing, a year since his tragic passing, we celebrate the wonderful life of Simba Mhere. His parents, Joseph and Angela Mhere, tell us how their love for their son was shared by a nation. To his sister Valerie, he was a brother and a soulmate. We learn more about Simba's BFF, Kady-Shay O'Bryan, and her young daughter Bailey Anna from Kady's parents, Megan and Russell David Byrne. Personal and industry friends and the Top Billing production team marvel at Simba's impact on their lives and on the show itself. Your presenter this evening is Simba's dear friend, Jonathan Boynton Lee.
Good evening and an extra special welcome this evening to Top Billing as we celebrate the memory of our brother and colleague, Simba Mhere. We lost Simba and Kady-Shay O'Bryan a year ago, but as we relive the big man's best memories, it feels like they happened just yesterday.
Hey, yo, what's up? My name is Simba, a.k.a. Half Man, Half Amazing, a.k.a. the darkest man on TV.
How do you hold your breath for that long under the water? Well, I am half man, half fish. Well, I'm half man, half amazing. I like that.
No, well, I mean, you've got the muscles, but let's see how flexible you are.
It's gonna be a good day. Sun's out, guns out.
Hello, darlings. This is my new show. My name is Diamond. Tickets is 50 Rand, but more if you want to sit closer to me.
You know, I watch so many Chinese movies and I always want to learn to do Kung Fu. So you have to teach me something. Do the right thing.
I can do the right thing, but you must be a man.
I'll be a man. Now, guys, I know everyone in South Africa is going to love the movie and they're going to love you guys, but I've got some gifts for you guys.
Cool. Thank you.
It's called a vuvuzela. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a vuvuzela.
No.
Okay, well, basically we use this at all sorts of sports games. It's like a horn.
Okay.
And you use it to celebrate. So basically how you blow it is you puff up your cheeks like this, and you do that.
Awesome.
You guys like to try?
I would love to. I love making noises.
Let's see how you do. There we go.
Mine sounds nasty.
He's got it. There we go.
I like chocolate. Then you got my chocolate, then you got your chocolate, then you got a chocolate, then you got a chocolate. I don't know, maybe you should stick to the ukulele for now and then we'll practice the singing a little later.
Loving you is like breathing into me. It's what my body does so naturally. And if this life gets hard, you make it easy for me to love you.
I just wanna turn you on. I just wanna turn you on, baby.
So right here on the show, we got Daniel Joao. When he lifted up the shirt, all the ladies say, well, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's a 7 and an 8. Now we dance like this. Do the happy dance. Here we go. Yeah. Sweet. With attitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in.
You know what? You guys have been absolutely awesome today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Simba.
I just want to find out, are any of you single? I am such a lucky man right now. Not only am I in one of the most picturesque places in Africa, but I've just happened to stumble upon a photo shoot with 3 gorgeous models. I love my job.
From Puerto Rico.
Oh, I love the way she says that. Say it again.
Puerto Rico.
Sicuramente è un connubio molto bello e importante perché la bellezza fa parte dello stile di Chateau d'Ax, quindi per me è un onore poter essere testimonial di questa azienda.
I love it when she talks foreign. I think I'm in love. Don't go back to Italy.
You should follow me.
Oh, you're funny? Okay.
This really handsome guy, his name is Simba.
Okay.
You should follow him.
Okay, it's at
Simba, the one.
the one.
Yes.
I mean.
Hey.
Oh, I love you too.
It's the part where I get down on one knee.
You could, and then move it to the right finger. You know you do this every time you see me, Simba.
Hey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Top Billing. I'm speaking to the new Miss South Africa 2014. How did you feel when they put the crown on your head?
It was so overwhelmed. It was absolutely amazing. You know, it felt like a rehearsal. We've done it so many times, and now it's finally happened. You know, I think it's finally hit me. It's absolutely amazing. Well, what do you think? I'm dressed the part, I look the part, and I definitely feel the part, but these guys are giving me all these lines to learn, so the nerves are kind of sinking in, so I hope I don't mess this up. Okay. Simba, you ready, dude? Yeah, I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Simba, you look great. You need the parts? Let's go.
Come, let's get into this, guys.
Oh, the shark has pretty teeth there, and it shows them pearly whites. Just a jackknife as old Heath, babe, and he keeps it out of sight.
Yo, Simba, man, that was awful. I mean, awesome, terrific. You look so good, man. And you're
cool, right?
you're an extremely talented presenter.
Yeah? But like, this was cool, right? Like,
yeah, it was, but you know what? I think it'd be better though if you come and stand on this side because your voice is really powerful, man.
Okay,
like, a little bit further.
Okay, like...
A little further?
Okay, you know what? I get it.
If most of us can count the highlights of our lives on one hand, then Simba had too many to count, even on all his fingers and toes. This man's entire life was a highlight.
Up next, Simba was the wind beneath his sister Valerie's wings and the kind of friend one could never forget.
Many of Simba's fans know that he has a younger sister, Valerie, fondly known by friends and family as V. She meant the absolute world to him, and I too was lucky enough to call him my brother. Next, V and I look back at the best brother that anyone could ever wish for.
On the night Simba slept in his car to be front of the queue for the Presenter Search auditions, V was there with him. As brother and sister, Valerie and Simba were soulmates.
How's it been for you this year? Like, to me, it doesn't feel like he's gone yet.
Sure.
Like, it still feels like he's there.
Sure.
Still hasn't sunk in yet. It feels like wherever I go, like I can hear him laughing.
Right.
I don't know about you. Does it feel like he's gone yet to you?
You know, it definitely feels like, you know, he's still gonna walk through the door, that we're gonna see him again. And I think the tough part is doing all the things we used to do together by myself now. And so those are the moments where I'm like, oh, he actually isn't here. So I've picked up running again, of course. And just every time I go to the track, I train or compete or whatever it is, it's almost like you look into the stands and I'm waiting to see Simba there just at the end of the lane. So.
Time for baby sister. Here's the clock.
I think I'm more excited than you are that you picked up running again. One of my favorite videos of his is from the stands, and he's saying, "Go Val, go Val."
That's it, V. That's it, V. That's it, V. That's it, V. That's it, V.
And so you belong on the track, and it's awesome that you're now continuing it. You're doing it in his memory, and you're going to be heading overseas soon. So. Yeah. It's the big time now.
It is. When I started running again last year professionally, he really got into it. He would come to every race and he would stand at the end of the race and cheer me on. Every single pair of spikes that I've owned since I started running were bought by Simba. So he tried to make sure that I was on point, to the point where he was like, look, I think I might get back into it because I'm getting so pumped.
By the time V began running in primary school, Simba was already a 100-meter record holder and became a mentor to her on the track.
So some of the things Simba kind of tried to teach me getting into my athletics career was that when I get to the start line, I need to be the last one in the blocks. And so he said, as soon as the guy says, get on your marks, wait for everyone to get down, then you get down. And so what he was trying to instill in my mind is that, look, it's your race, you're in charge, everyone else waits for you, you're the champion here. And so, man, that's one of the first lessons he ever taught me. But because I also always got into my own head and I'd get really nervous and it would throw me off my game, Simba used to stand behind me in my lane and he would just say, you've got this, V, it's your race, it's your race. And so that would kind of just get me refocused and it got me believing in myself before I got into it. So one thing Simba always tried to get me to do, and at the end of my races was actually to figure out a celebration. He'd either want me to run through with my finger waving in the air or do some sort of Batista celebration. And I never did one. It was not in my nature. I just wanted to kind of finish the race and get off the track. And so that's something he always tried to train me to do, is like figure out what's your thing and do it at the end of your race. And that's how you'll be remembered. But another fun memory I just have of him in my sprinting is he actually rocked up to school, grade 10, in my geography class. And he just went and bought me a brand new pair of spikes that I didn't need at all. And just surprised me. And so, yeah, man, it's the little things that I think he did that made me feel so loved by him in pursuing a professional athletics career.
An hour out of Simba's day to watch Valerie run, or a pair of shoes out his own pocket, was no big sacrifice to him, but it meant the world to her. It's worth sweating that kind of small stuff because life is short, but it's just long enough for true bromance.
Here's to a very special on-screen bromance I'm proud to be part of.
Me too, bro.
As you can see, the two boys from Josie have just landed. We're wearing very inappropriate clothes for the beach party we're supposed to be hosting now.
You, me, stand off outside now.
You sure you want to do this?
Let's go. Come. Okay.
After this, Simba's going to find a girlfriend and he's going to have a kid.
We get each other. We get the feeling.
Yeah, we get each other. We get the feeling. See, I even copy what he said. One of my favorite stories is remember when we met at NQAYI that one time?
Right.
I said to Simba, you know, I love you. Like, just, and you were like, you know, he really loves you. Like, you guys love each other.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, you know. It's like that true love,
no,
basically.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I didn't know that he actually told you about that. But when we sat at the NQAYI, I was like, what's your friendship like with this John guy? Because it was one of those moments where you said, I love you. And I was like, that's genuine. He's not even just playing around. Like, he actually loves you. He's like, yeah, we're close like that. And I don't think I really got it.
Yeah.
I've seen now, after, you know, everything that happened, just how much people loved Simba. And I don't think he knew either. I think in his mind, it's like, yeah, you know, I've got friends and they love me a lot. But it's just to see how people have come through, supported us, how you and just Simba's friends keep in contact. It's great. It's great to see that love. I think Simba would cry just at the thought of, you know, just seeing what you guys are doing.
There were floods of tears around the whole country at losing Simba and his friend Kady-Shay O'Bryan in the same tragic car accident. We had filmed them once together, playing paintball.
So now, we're obviously closer to him, so we know the whole Kady and him thing. They were just playing it up for camera. Or were they? You know, are we going to give away the truth, or are we going to let people, like, play along?
Wondering. No, man, they were extremely close friends. I don't even know. I think they met at an event once.
Yeah.
And they just kind of hit it off from there. I remember actually the day, just sort of that photo was posted on Facebook and they faked this whole engagement. I was like, what on earth? But I mean, they were extremely tight. I questioned him. We had a conversation and I was like, what's going on with you and Kady? He's like, no, we're just friends. Calm down. So
they loved playing it up.
Sure.
It was hilarious.
Sure.
It's funny, like the first time I met Kady was 2013 You Spectacular.
Right.
She was Simba's date.
Yes.
But Simba and I were like sharing a room together, getting ready and stuff, and he was shooting for Top Billing. So he was like, John, my date's arriving, you know, I've got to go and shoot. Will you just look after her? I'm like in a shower towel. And she comes and sits in the hotel room, like, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to leave a date with me while I get ready, and he's working. So it was like an awkward first meeting with Kady, but then we just hit it off from there as well. So
that's great.
So many memories. You know.
This is how you end a boys' weekend, blood and tears.
It's the perfect way to end this.
Boys will be boys.
So many special memories, you know, and that weekend away before he passed away, literally a week before, it was like a farewell weekend. It's so crazy looking back at it, and we were laughing and singing, and it was just like the perfect weekend. Just incredible memories, and it was where we made our bromance video. Just because, like, it's just so weird how we made that video that weekend, and we just decided that that's what we were going to do and joke about our bromance and everything and make that video. And it's so many things happened that weekend. It's where, you know, I always used to speak to Simba about, you know, whether I should date Jay or not, because I'm not a relationship person and I needed like advice from my baby brother, and like he would always say go for it, you know. And that weekend we were playing tennis and he was in the pool and he was like singing a little song, like a Lion King song about Jay and I. Can you feel the love tonight?
Can you feel the love
Yes, your leg is
tonight, tonight, where we are.
You know, we often, people, when they lose somebody, they regret not being able to say goodbye or not having spent enough time with them. But it was such a gift to have that special last weekend with him and people that were close to him, and to be able to have laughed with him that weekend, and, you know, just the brotherhood that was almost cemented on that weekend, and the love that remains, you know. I just couldn't have asked for a better memory.
You the man.
No, you the man.
All right, I'm the man.
Simba, you'll always be the man, but I was better at paintballing. I can almost hear him chirping me right now.
Next, Simba's family tell us he was a Lion King from day one, and Kady-Shay's parents see her light shine on in her daughter.
When Simba announced himself on the top billing presenter search, it was like he'd arrived, the complete man, ready for anything. That was thanks in no small part to being raised in the amazing family of pastors Angela and Joseph Mhere.
Yo dudes, this is a brilliant chance to enroll in a really cool new kids charity club. Just imagine those little coins can actually save an African kid's life.
Simba was born for showbiz. We saw it on the happy day he first introduced us to his missionary parents, and they kindly met with us again.
Simba as a child, he was someone who would communicate to anyone. What was amazing was when they started Crash, he was 3 years old. Every time they did a concert, it was like he wanted mommy to see him, he wanted to be in front of everyone, he would stick his head out and shout loud so that everyone would hear him. And also there's one day I missed that concert because I was working. So he was a bit upset that I had to bribe him with a packet of chips to say, you can be quiet now, because I couldn't make it, I couldn't come because I was working.
He loved to win. Whatever he did, he wanted to be it in running, in sport. He wanted to win. He was not shy. I would describe him as an extrovert. He was comfortable with everybody.
Simba was loved by everyone from the young age he was. Even when he went to the movie, like Simba the Lion movie, he watched it because where we stayed at the mission base, he was like the only child. So everyone who was going to the movies would take Simba with to watch Simba the Lion. So he ended up calling himself Simba the Lion because he loved it. He would go to the movie so that with his friends so that he can explain to them how the movie is before. So friends end up saying, Simba, we don't want to come with you because you tell us what is happening to the movie. We end up buying the movie in the house so that he can watch it in the house. But you could recite everything that was in the movie. Simba was just an oomph in the house. He would walk in and the mood would change. That was Simba.
We knew that people loved him, but we did not see the full picture. The full picture for us came out when he passed on. It was amazing how people until this day express their love for Simba.
We did not know the impact that he had, but from this month that has gone past, we've realized that he had such an impact that we were not aware of actually as a family, because Simba was a child in a home. Simba would come in this home and be a child. He wasn't different for us. Even my clients that come to my shop, when they just see the surname, they point me and they just started crying because they miss him. So we really appreciate that. So the impact that he had after the top billing, with the years that he went to us, was overwhelming actually.
The red carpet is rolled out for this year's Youth Spectacular, and all the stars you voted for are here and dressed to the nines. So on that note, let the party begin.
Kady was one of his best friends. They were very close. So they had a very strong connection.
We were so happy to have Kady in Simba's life because Simba spoke more of Kady, like Kady this, Kady this. It was just like, oh, and Simba has found a best friend ever. It was maybe, I can say, God took them together because the friendship was just inseparable from what I saw during their friendship time.
We miss her as much as we miss Simba. Our lives have changed a lot in that He will never knock the door again and say, I'm here. He was unique, a child that I loved from day one, and he remains in my heart. There is no day that passes and in this family we don't think about him. We are learning every day to accept what has happened, but it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy because we miss his cooking, because he liked cooking for Mom sometimes. If he's around, we'll just say, Mom, sit, I'll take care of this. So we really miss that most of the time, because you think, today I'm tired, especially Fridays. And now it's no longer going to happen. But in everything that we used to want to share with Simba, it's like you think of it and
from the time that Simba passed on until this day, we continue to meet people who still remember Simba and they miss him.
During the memorial or during the funeral, I know it's a day that you never want to remember, but with the support that we had with everyone, I can't even mention names because everyone loved Simba.
We, as a family, appreciate the love that the top billing team, the South African public, the people in Africa who have watched Simba, we can't say thank you enough for the love that they have shown to us as a family, but above all, the love that they had for Simba. We thought we had lost Simba as a family, but I must say, all the people that followed Simba lost a loved one.
I know Simba was our only child boy, but we've gained more children like Jonathan and more. Thank you. He's gonna be in our hearts forever.
The Mhere's loss is felt equally by Kady-Shay O'Brien's family. And after a very long, tough year, her parents, Megan Byrne and Russell David Byrne, graciously agreed to chat to us about their daughter and the fine young mother she was to little Bailey Anna.
The Byrnes watched Kady-Shay grow up as an independent thinker. A manager at a marketing company, she was known online for her blog, dreamweaver.co.za, and as a young mother whose daughter was her world.
Now, all our viewers know what Simba was like, but I'm really keen to know, what was Kady like growing up?
Kady was very outgoing, not scared of anything, and interacted with people incredibly throughout her whole childhood. I don't know if many people know, but she was an incredible sportswoman. She played indoor cricket. She played cricket in the boys' team at Bedfordview Primary School. Her first game that she played, she took 4 wickets for 8 runs. She was just so vivacious, so loving.
Yes, and I think, and as she grew up in her teens, late teens and 20s, very headstrong, very ambitious, and ultimately the most wonderful mother that you could ever imagine.
She once said to me that her biggest achievement in life, and it doesn't matter what she does in the future or where life takes her, her biggest achievement was being a mother to Bailey. It's just so hard to think that she's not with us anymore. It's still so sad that all these things that she was is no longer.
The bubbly Kady-Shay and her BFF Simba were inseparable, and this is how she felt about him.
Terwyl ons hier so staan, hoe is Simba as 'n vriend?
Simba is a baie good friend, hoor. He's loyal, he's the ride or die, he's there for you no matter what. He's my best friend in the whole world.
Luister, sy asseblief net vir my 10 sekondes gee om weg te kom.
No.
What was the relationship like between Simba and Kady? What were they like together?
Almost like a brother and sister relationship. They just together clicked as a unit. The synergy was perfect. And I think they kind of appreciated the same things in life in terms of activities and restaurants and the social scene. But certainly I think they struck a chord as, I think, soul partners. They were very, very, very close.
Also, I mean, Simba came into our home and we just loved him. And it was incredible. He used to just pitch up before they went out somewhere or anything and just walk straight into the kitchen and, you know, say hi to us. And it was a chat and lots of loves and kisses, and off they would go. And it was a wonderful, wonderful relationship that they had. And to think if one of them had to have gone without the other, it would have been too terrible, because best friends would have been broken apart.
As a blogger, what Kady loved to write about most was her daughter.
Let's talk about the princess, little Bailey, your granddaughter. How is she coping?
She found it very hard at the beginning. She withdrew a bit. And it was a big, big change for her as well, because from Kady's death, she went to live with her dad. And it was trying to get her to understand that she doesn't live with us anymore, that she lives with her daddy. You know, I see Bailey now, who is just like her mother. She dances and she sings and she's outgoing, and she's exactly like her mother was when her mother was little. She misses her mommy very, very much. Yeah.
When Kady-Shay met friends, their first question was always, how's Bailey Anna doing?
Thank you. Oh. Thank you for that massive hug. I feel like it was like a sumo hug, right? Do you want to sit next to Nana? There we go. What do you remember about your mom?
She used to wear lots of necklaces and bracelets.
Really? What do you most remember about Simba?
He used to play with me.
He used to play with you?
Yes.
What was your favorite game with Simba? What game do you remember?
Hide and seek.
Hide and seek? That sounds like a Simba thing, right? What was your favorite memory with your mom and Simba?
We loved to go to the rabbits.
What did you feed the rabbits?
Carrots.
And?
A little bit of cabbage.
And?
Little bit of salt.
Salt? But how are you doing? You good? Still pretty?
Yes.
Still cute?
Yes.
Untouchable?
Yes.
I love that. High five. Thank you. Just looking at Bailey, she is so much like her mom.
Well, they had an incredible relationship, the two of them, and I think a lot of Kady's personality just rubbed off on her from the very, very start. I just hope that what Kady has given her in her four short years, she will grow into a beautiful woman like her mother was.
What can we take from Kady and Simba's journey together?
It's not a dress rehearsal, and I think both of them, irrespective of the terrible way they died, I think they could both present their CV to the maker and say, look, you know, we gave it a full go. So for both Simba and Kady, they can rest assured that their legacies will remain for an awful long time.
For Kady, her legacy is Bailey. She's left a little Kady in this world. For the friendship that Kady and Simba had, I think if everybody could see the friendship that they had and just learn to love, forgive, laugh, enjoy life to the fullest, I think this world would be a fantastic place for everybody.
Besties forever. That's how Simba and Kady-Shay will always be remembered.
Just ahead, to personal and industry friends, Simba was the ultimate professional with a heart of gold.
When Simba's varsity and gym friends heard he was auditioning for Top Billing, they pitied the competition. To them, the big man with the heart the size of a whale was and will always remain an irresistible force of nature.
He took on cheaters like Raymond Rule for sport. He raced gold medal winning Olympians like Cameron van der Berg, and no test ever scared Simba. Not even mixing it up with Springbok and Stormers hardman Siya Kolisi.
Last time I met you, you tackled me flat on my back, but it was a little unfair because there was two of you. So now we're going to change things up a little bit. Skara, you're going to be my scrum half. Yeah. You're going to be on the 5 meter. I'm going to have the ball. You can try to tackle me.
Try taking you with that. I'll take you any day, my friend.
Listen, what do you...
The last time me and Simba trained together, it was probably around 2011, 2012, I think. Because obviously after Top Billing, he became a bit busy. But me and my training partner would always see Simba. Every time we're having a tough session, Simba would put his weights down, panting out of breath, and start saying, "It's my sugar levels, guys." So that'd be his excuse to take a little bit of a break. Simba always wanted big triceps. He'd like to go as heavy as possible, obviously. Simba was always backing me 100% in everything that I did when it came to my bodybuilding, you know. Just like I pushed him when it came to top billing to be his best, he also would push me to make sure that I'd always be my best, and he always only just wanted the best for me, and likewise for him.
Hiya, come on Simba, no cheating.
What type of person was Simba? Caring, fun, always up for a good time.
He was a family man. He loved his family.
Always put his family first, that is true.
Especially V.
Yeah, friends also. Friends came number one. He'd always go that extra mile. Whenever you needed him, whenever you called him, he was always available. You could see it the way that he was with Kady and her daughter.
Simba was just one of those guys. He was Simba, you know what I mean? From the get-go, we got along very well as friends, and we hit it all straight from grade 8 right up until, you know, we started with our careers. But there was no one like Simba. His personality was very unique.
Sims was definitely, you know, a joker and a kidder, and someone who I think made me laugh many times, but often to the point where I was just about crying.
He was a party animal. He was a dancer. He was an entertainer.
He was a dancer.
That's why
I still think that I taught him. I still think that I taught him all of the dance moves. He'll say that he wasn't, but I know that I taught him the dance moves.
Okay. Like one of the names you had for him was Simba the Entertainer.
Yeah. There's a really funny memory that I remember. It was in Pretoria when I was staying there. Simba came through with Chi, and he had just got top billing, so he was just getting his name out there. And he was walking down, and one of the girls spotted him with the friends, and she's like, "Oh my word, Simba, 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 can I have a photo?" And he's like, "Yeah, cool." So he gets there, he puts his arm around her, and as the photo is being taken, he just casually turns her face and just pulls in. It was one of the funniest things that I've ever seen that Simba's ever done. It just shows how his confidence went from being, he was very reserved when he was in school, and how the top billing thing, and as he grew, he became more confident, he became more open. Yeah.
It's been quite a busy year, I think, for me personally. It's been quite a big one. I got engaged.
Yeah.
But he couldn't be there, so, excuse me. Sorry, Chi.
I don't think the pain will ever go away. You learn to cope every day, you know. I think about him constantly every day, and you know, the moments that I shared with him, they are what keep his memory alive. And that's how I know I'll never forget him, because we had, honestly, some of the most unforgettable moments together.
Yeah, I think even though he's gone, he'll never be forgotten. And I think his spirit will always live amongst us and us friends. And
I think what's helped us through is us getting a lot closer with Valerie. We've been fortunate enough to go out with her, share a few meals together, and recently her 21st, where her sort of, the way that she reminded me of Simba was crazy. She took over the dance floor. Yeah. So I think about him every single day. But, you know, as time goes, hopefully it will get a little bit easier, but he definitely won't be forgotten.
I just wish I could tell him just how proud I am of him and everything he accomplished, because for me, I really wanted to see him do well in life. You know, I really wanted to see him excel, and he did. He lived life and he experienced life literally to the full.
Ever the entertainer to his friends in showbiz circles, Simba never worried about outshining anybody. He just warmed every room that he walked into. As was said of him, he never had to break the ice, he simply melted it.
Simba meant a lot to me. Apart from being a colleague and a friend, he really was like a brother. We spoke about anything. We had some good times together. I'm smiling because I'm thinking of his dance moves and his boisterous laugh and his wide, broad smile. But yeah, he was a magnificent man that everyone he encountered felt special around.
No, it's not working. Come on, Simba, you can do better than that, man.
Simba was a kind of person, you know, every time when we met, wherever it was, there's only one name that comes up in my mind, and every time I tell him, there's Mufasa. Everything about him was big. There's no way that you couldn't miss anything about him. And for me, that alone means a lot as a person, as in his personality as well. He didn't have to say a word to me. Then I could feel him. He was there. And that's what I like most about him. He didn't have to say anything. If you see him, you know, Mufasa is in the building.
My best interaction with Simba was when I had him on my show, and the nation got to see the Simba that I knew. He relayed a story of him growing up and how troubled he was and how he had a low self-esteem and how at some point he believed that he was ugly because he was told that he was ugly.
Gosh, I want to take you back to the moment when that girl said you were ugly. Did you believe that you were ugly?
I did. I think eventually when you told these things often enough, you start to believe it.
And he relayed the story of how living his dream on top billing actually changed his perception of himself, how he now had a new lease on life, how people started looking at him differently.
How do you like your coffee?
I like my coffee dark, sweet, and a little bit of a bite.
Thanks, Leon.
Interacting with Simba was always a pleasure. He was a lot of fun. He was very kind, sometimes quite naughty. You would always laugh around him. You would always talk work. You'd always talk life, future, the great things we were going to achieve. I would always first greet him by roaring. It was like stupid, I know, but I'd be like, "Rah, Simba." He laughed with me as much as it might have been maybe slightly annoying and normal because his name is Simba, but he took it in his stride, and he's one of the kindest people in this industry that I interacted with.
He always wanted to be the best. He always wanted to be the one. He always wanted to be the best that Simba could be. And that's I think that was his secret. He always wanted to be better than he was the day before.
Let's do that again, Marcus.
You know? And one thing about him is that he was born a king. He was born the one. You know? He never had to roar. He just had to smile. He never had to be loud. He just had to walk into a room. And when he walked into a room, you knew he was there.
He was such a real person. He was very genuine. In this fickle industry that I'm in, you know, it's very rare to find a real person, and he really cared. He would go out of his way just to make you feel comfortable and just to, you know, give you that hug, that big hug.
Hey, so you can see, it's almost like walking on a cloud here. I almost disappeared right into it. That's how beautiful and soft all this natural fiber is. I wish they could make my bed like this. I'm going back.
In sports, when you lose one of the greats, you retire the number they wore on their back, because no one ever could fill that jersey. Simba, that's how the industry feels about you, my brother.
Still to come, from his first audition to his final travels on the show, his top billing family expressed their love for him.
There are no downsides to being a top billing presenter, but the nature of our job means we hardly get to work together. Now, if there was one guy that everyone wished they'd worked with more, it was Simba.
You viewers know her as Jeannie D. I've come to know her as my next girlfriend. Or perhaps maybe Jeannie Double D for reasons beyond my comprehension.
Listen
From now on, she'll be immortalized as Jeannie 3D for being featured on Cosmopolitan's first 3D photo shoot.
I first met Simba during the Johannesburg version of the Presenter Search auditions, and he walked in, just this massive guy, and he delivered his link, and he was so charming and spoke beautifully and had a very friendly disposition, and then he was naughty and very flirty, and I thought, he definitely knows his way to my heart, and I liked him instantly.
If you had never gone into media, I want to know, would you have ever done this?
Do you think I should have entered? I think I'm a Miss South Africa.
Okay.
The unofficial Miss South Africa.
Give us the wave. Let's see if you can do the wave.
Well,
yeah, you could have done it.
Simba was more than just a colleague. He became sort of a little brother to me. I watched him when he started the presenter search, winning the presenter search, to becoming, you know, the Simba that we all love, making us laugh every single Thursday. He was just a lovely human being with just a clean, pure spirit that resonated with a lot of people.
There she is. Look at you, hey? Hello, Mrs. Jones.
The first time you meet him, you can't help but fall in love with the guy, you know. He had such an incredibly infectious personality.
You always wanted to be a mermaid.
It's merman.
Sort of have to work with.
He really cared about his friends. He really cared about his colleagues. And I think that sort of genuine element of his personality and that authenticity came through in everything that he did.
Right? You know that one little thing that when I go to the club, the lady's gonna go, "You're charmer." You know, that move. You want that thing? I want that thing.
One quality that I absolutely adored about our Simba was his boyishness. And I always say there's one thing that you can't fake, and that's sincerity. And Simba's boyishness ensured that every experience he had with every single shoot he did, it was 100% sincere, that enjoyment, and it just jumped through the screen.
Nah, are you gonna... I thought you were gonna fall over. Oh no, two. How did you do that? Yeah, baby.
Some of us presenters may admit to having our diva moments, as our top billing family might tell you. But as for Simba, everyone says he was an absolute sweetheart. And if we could all be a little more like him, what a wonderful world it could be.
Nothing gives me a bigger kick than to know that Simba is one of ours now.
And believe me, I've waited a long time to say this. Until next week, 7:30, right here on SABC3. Good night and God bless.
One of the most rewarding and fulfilling aspects of working on top billing is being able to identify and to nurture new talent. And one of the most magical things about Simba was that he was given every opportunity. He took advantage of every opportunity, and he became one of the most popular and one of the most celebrated personalities and presenters on South African television. He was a gentleman. When Jonathan won the presenter search, Simba was such a good friend to Jonathan, showing him the ropes, showing him what he'd achieved, what he'd learnt, and helping Jonathan to grow. And it always seemed as if Simba was the older brother, when in fact he was younger than Jonathan. But that wonderful bromance and relationship that they had with each other was so beautiful. And it's such a loss for us, such a terrible loss, not to have Simba here with us.
That's the boy. That's the boy. I'm not even breaking a sweat.
The first time I met him was when I was directing him for his very first insert on Top Billing, which we shot in Simonstown with the Navy divers. And I was really impressed because it was the first interaction that I had with Simba. And it was a tough gig for a first-time presenter. And he did incredibly well. And from then on, I thought, well, we actually have a star in the making here.
So guys, do we make the grade?
I think you.
I'm happy.
Simba was 26 years old, and he came here, and I saw him growing up. Because he was big, when you look at him, you see like a grown-up person. When he opens his mouth, he speaks like a grown-up person. But you know, because I spent so much time with him, sometimes he would throw like, we will be like shooting, and he's got his red headphones on his head, and he's busy like rapping and doing MCs, which was his thing. We will be like walking into the airport to check in, and he will be like dancing and doing funny things, and everybody will like look at us.
Yeah. There you go, now you're moving.
When it came to working with Simba, it was really always a pleasure, especially with our inserts, because, you know, as a viewer, the energy that you see conveyed on screen is exactly the energy that he gave you when you asked for direction, you asked for a shot, even when you asked for sound. Simba was there to just bring that energy. For every viewer, it's new and exciting. It's new and exciting for him, and that's what made him incredibly special. We were there on top of the Eiffel Tower, and I took a moment and he looked over the whole of Paris, and he said, "I'm on top of the world, baby."
It's my second time in Paris, but my first time up the Eiffel Tower, and it's so great to come here on such a special occasion. It's the 125th anniversary of the Eiffel Tower, so it's great to come here and celebrate Paris.
I think one of the things we remember most about Simba is just his warmth and his charisma and his character. You know, he always had the biggest smile and the warmest hugs, and I think that is something that will stay with us forever. You know, every time he came into the office, if we were on location, if we went to a shoot, he always had time for each and every one of us. So it was always a warm smile, a nice hug, greeted everybody by name. It's that feeling that he made everyone else around him feel warm. And that is something that very few people have the ability to translate on screen and off screen at the same time. And he really had that gift.
Oh yes, and ladies, eat your heart out.
Simba always was part of the team. He never saw himself like the superstar. I mean, when traveling with the crew, he would carry the gear, he would assist, he would actually shout at the crew to say, I need to carry something, I need to help you. And when he came in front of the camera, he had this light about him that he just exuded. And we as Tswelopele Productions, you know, he was just not an employee for the company, but he was our son.
It's my happy face because of these beautiful ladies.
Top Billing is like a family. Basically, it affected everyone in the production team, in the post-production team, the presenters. We could feel it on shoot. Whenever we spoke to everyone, it was on their minds, and it's been a year now, but we still haven't forgotten him.
I think I just did the Macarena.
After Simba's tragic passing, we received thousands of messages from people whose lives he had touched. A year later, the messages about him have not stopped, and I don't think they ever will. His warmth was something so many people remembered about him, the time he always had for others, as well as his ability to really be real. Simba wasn't playing a role, Simba was just being Simba.
After Simba won the presenter search, he came to the office, he met the whole team, and I just remember my first impression, he was here in this room, and he was such a huge, big guy, and I just couldn't believe like how young he was. I kept in contact with him to just give him some feedback on the inserts, and I think he really appreciated that because after he won the best presenter at the Youth Spectacular, he acknowledged that, and I think the whole team appreciated that, and that just talks about who he is.
When you see people on TV a lot, when you meet them in person, you always expect them to kind of be different from who they are on screen, but Simba was, you know, who you saw. He was kind and gentle and very, very tall.
I'm on my ninja mission, got full gear, I've got my fake sword here because it's blunt, so no ninjas will be hurt in this one, but I need to find my nemesis. Let's go. No!
I always remember the photo shoot, the little bit of fun we had with myself, Simba, and Mfundo, the cameraman, all posing in our kimonos in Japan. Obviously, that trip being the last one that Simba and I shared together will be a memory that I'll remember forever.
Losing Simba and Kady-Shay was unnecessary. Let's look after ourselves and each other out there on the roads. 1 second of recklessness can turn the lives of countless people upside down forever. Simba, Godspeed, great man, good night, and God bless.
Here we go, and this is how we sign out. Berlin Fashion Week, it's been good.
Okay, man, you are a machine.
How awesome is this?
I feel good. I knew that I would not.
That wasn't bad.
Something came out, man.